So many Canva apps. Seems like Canva is adding new apps to its library every single week. So how do you know the good from the bad? Not easy, right? Well, this is exactly why I started this series, Hot New Canva Apps, to show you the best of these Canva apps that are added regularly. And in this video, I'm going to review 4 apps, 4 design apps, tell you what I like about them, also how I would use them. I'm going to show you some real-life use cases that you can actually leverage, and I'm going to give these apps a rating out of 5. Let's go. The first app I'm going to review today is called Transform Image. Remember, today is all about design apps, so apps that will help you design more things in Canva than what you can do with the regular features. So let's start by finding the app. Okay, so Transform Image. Okay, Transform Image, this one right here. It's this logo right here, the gradient thingy. So let's go over the app's detail. So change the perspective of your image instantly. All right, I'm good to go with this. So I've already installed it. So there you go. And this app actually has a very straightforward, a very simple user interface. Okay, one single button that says choose a file, upload your image. All right. So one thing, which is a caveat in my opinion, is that we cannot just simply select an image on our page, on our design. It won't let me use that from here. I actually need to upload a file, so kind of forced to do that. So I'm going to upload the exact same thing. So this is our Team RONNY logo from the YouTube channel. I'm going to upload this via the app, and it will load up here for preview. So the first thing I noticed is that on the preview, the colors are a little bit washed out. You see, from compared with the original photo right here on my page, this preview, like, we've lost some quality in the process of uploading it and running it through the app, right? So what else can I do from here? So I have my preview, drag the image to adjust the perspective. You can use your scroll wheel, pinch, or use the slider below to zoom in and out. So right now I am using the wheel on my mouse to zoom in and out, but I can use this slider as mentioned in the text right here. But that's not exactly the transformative aspect of this app. The real power of it is when you start, you see I'm clicking here and I'm moving my mouse around, and you can see now I have this type of 3D effect here where I can really change the perspective of my image. So this, in my opinion, is pretty powerful because it allows me to accomplish a bunch of different purposes with that image. Okay, and I'm going to go over some practical use cases in a second. I just wanted to show you the user experience right here with the app and what it actually does. So let's move over to this page right here. I want to talk about one of the first and the most important, in my opinion, the most important use case for this app. And that is to adjust the perspective of an image that I want to place on a mockup, or basically create a mockup from any image available to me, right? So right here, I have a simple image of this guy right here. Okay, nice sunglasses, white t-shirt. I found this photo in the Canva library. I think I searched for man with white t-shirt, and I just found one who wasn't like straight facing the camera because I wanted the guy and the guy's body to be slightly tilted so I can demo the app and like the ability to skew the image exactly to the angle that I need for the mockup or for the photo, because this is not a mockup. This is just a simple photo. Let's imagine I want to add this logo. Or you know what? I have a better logo than this. Let's go with my logo without a background. That will work better on a t-shirt. Yes. Okay, so the guy is slightly tilted towards one side, so it would make sense if my logo was also slightly tilted, kind of like so. Okay, so you see it's not completely straight facing the camera. So once you're happy with this, you can either reset the perspective to reset the entire positioning, the entire perspective of this logo, or add it to your design. There you go, it's right here. Now it's just a a matter of scaling this image to the right size. And now there we go. We have added the image to my non-mockup, to my regular photo, but now it becomes a mockup. And so what I've done here, on top of just adding the photo at the right place, I selected both photos, collapse this. I selected both photos and I'm going to group them. And you see now everything is grouped, so I can move this person anywhere I want on my page. So I'm going to have him, I'm going to reduce the size of everything slightly so I can have a little bit of his trousers right here. The shadow looks great. Yeah, maybe let's reduce it slightly more so we can really have some nice looking mock-up right here. And the t-shirt looks realistic. Now, again, I will have to admit that the colors have been slightly washed out. I could probably try to fix this. So if I was to try and fix this, I would come here, copy the model right here. So these are the realistic colors. I could try and edit this. Let's use the adjustment buttons right here. Probably a bit of brightness, more contrast or less contrast, probably more shadows, probably some blacks and saturation as well. Okay, let me see. So Diana is looking better, but I'm a little bit pale. All right, maybe vibrance? Yeah, vibrance could do something, could add something. The saturation would probably help, but then too much saturation could be a problem as well. So let's see. Sharpness could probably improve slightly. Okay, so this is a little bit better, but I am losing somewhere like some quality by doing this manipulation. So just be aware of that. This is definitely a downside of the experience. But hey, I have my mockup. I have adjusted its perspective on the t-shirt, and I think it looks pretty good. Now, let me show you another use case for this app. Second one is adjusting or fixing the perspective on a specific image. Okay, so I have this base image right here. I'm gonna work with this. So let's send that to my background. All right, so what should we put on this billboard? Seems like the guy is kind of protesting in front of an institution. This looks like an official building. Two flags right here, EU flag, American flag. What could be the message, right? Well, we want a positive message. We want a peaceful message because we need more peace in these times, right? But also, I don't want to start designing from scratch, so I could just go and find a font that I like and just simply write. Or if you need a little bit of inspiration, you could browse the text tab right here. And if you scroll down a bit, you will see some font combinations right here. Some of them will be Canva Pro and some of them will be free. But if you scroll long enough, you will find probably something that catches your attention. So it's really up to you. So we can find something that kind of looks like a handwritten font that would make sense for this. Maybe something like this. You're not invited, but let's see if I can write something else here. We want peace now. I'm gonna select all of this, make this way smaller, maybe 150. I'm gonna have this in black. And okay, there is an effect going on here. This effect could be green. That sounds good. Let's make this slightly bigger and align it. There you go. All right, so from here, a couple of ways you can download this. The first way would be to simply go to your share button, download this page, if possible, with a transparent background. So this is my page number 8 on this document. So I could just go like so, PNG, okay, transparent background, and I'm gonna go with the current page number 8. There you go, it's gonna download. Obviously, to download as a PNG with a transparent background, you will need to be a Canva Pro user. Another way you could go about this is to simply Command Shift and 4 on my keyboard and just simply screenshot this. Okay, so you screenshot this, there you go. But then you do have a background when you screenshot. So if possible, it's better to get rid of the background because this billboard right here, not completely white. I have my image. I'm gonna go fetch it back in my download right here. So it's this one right here. See, it doesn't have a background. I'm gonna open this. We want peace now. Perfect. Now all I have to do is to find the right tilt, the right angle, so that it kind of matches the perspective of my billboard right here. So probably something like so. Probably can zoom in a bit, and I'm going to add this to my design. There you go. We want peace now. You can adjust a little bit if you want and center this on your billboard as you wish. So there you go. We have adapted this text. We have fixed the perspective on that image using the Transform Image app. So this is what you can do with this app, guys. You can basically adjust the perspective of your image so that it fits the angle or it fits the reality of the base layer, the base canvas you're working with. I believe it's good, but a few caveats, right? The first one is that the colors seem to be washed out, okay? So we are losing in quality, probably losing in terms of resolution as well quite a bit. It's probably due to the compression algorithm when you upload the image back into the app. So this is not good. And second, and I'm gonna demonstrate that to you very quickly here, I am missing some tools. Once I have added the image, the skewed image to my design, I would love to be able to fine-tune that perspective from the image on the design. So I'm going to be using this billboard right here. Let me set that as the background. I would like to add a thumbnail of one of my classes, for example, to promote my class on this billboard. Okay, let's admit this was possible. I had enough money to do so. So let me show you. I'm going to go and find, first of all, upload file. I'm going to use this class thumbnail right here. Branding with AI, the latest class I have published on Skillshare about using ChatGPT and Canva's AI tools to come up with a great name for your business and a logo for that business. This is actually a really cool class. It's been staff picked by Skillshare. Very proud of it. It's the latest one I published. If you're interested, check it out. There will be a link in the description along with a 30-day free trial for Skillshare. So you can actually try this class for free. You'll find the link in the description. But anyways, this is the billboard I want to create to promote this class. Okay, I'm proud of this class. So let's come back to the app and choose the thumbnail right here. Okay, I'm gonna open this, gonna load here, gonna be washed out like the other one. And now I will try and get this right. Okay, so it's not easy. It's not 100% easy. Probably not gonna be perfect from the get-go. Okay, so this seems like it. I'm gonna add this to the design, and you see now, like, this is where I would love some extra like tweaking options. Like if I could grab this corner and drag it here, and then this one and drag it here, but it's not possible. And that's probably the major problem I have with this app. So before I give it my rating, let me show you some additional use cases that you could try. So we've seen the mockup perspective adjustment. You could give your social media graphics a 3D twist, okay, by skewing the image that you put in your post and give it like a 3D effect. Creative photo manipulation, so you could distort some part of your designs, maybe some buildings you are working with, like make them taller or make them like look different, basically manipulating the images. Could create some eye-catching text effects, okay? We've seen this works fine with text. Unique collage creations, okay? So you could imagine like cutting elements in specific ways, or skewing portraits of people and adding stuff coming out of their heads. Like, this is possible. We've seen fixing the perspective on specific images and mockups, or you could try designing some custom 3D stickers with this app. So that's for the use cases. Now, my final verdict for Transform Image would be 2.5 out of 5. This is a good idea, but we have some critical features that are not yet available. So could do better. Now, let's move on to the second app. The second design app I have selected for you today is called Motion Type. All right, so let's find it in the apps right here. So Motion Type right here, it's this logo, right? The kind of the funky, typey, wavy thing. Okay, Motion Type. So this one has 5 animated typography presets. Okay, so this is what it's really about. These 5 kind of cool motion graphic with typography. So let's go over them quickly, okay? The first one right here is this moving, kind of rotating effect. This one is called twist. Then we have wobble. So we have this text wobbling, and I'm gonna get to how to use it in a second. We have stretched, okay? Stretch, it's pretty cool, like this effect. We have outline, the breathing outline, and we have pulse, which is kind of like pulsing like this in the middle of our animation. All right, so let's play around with it. I'm going to show you a few different things you can do. So for example, let's start by tweaking the stretch one, which I believe is my favorite one. So you have a few different fields right here in the menu. The first one is your text. Okay, so you can replace your text, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be much of a use. So here, let's type in something else, like my name, for example. You can edit the canvas size, so you can change the dimension of your canvas. By default, it will be a 1:1 aspect ratio, 1800 by 1800 pixels. I think this is fine. I don't need to modify this. You can change the font. Okay, so here, JetBrains Mono. You have a bunch of different fonts. You have actually a lot of fonts right here. So you will probably find your favorite fonts. You see, and different fonts will produce different outcomes when it stretches. Okay, so make sure to stick with the good ones. I would say here, you can try a few different ones, but you see the O, the animation, the stretch animation on the O is not as clean for this font right here. But let's see if we can adjust that. So next we have the alignment. I'm not going to play around with this. The color of my text, the stretch effect X coordinate. So this one is important. Let's reduce it slightly. So we see we can go from one letter to the next by moving the X coordinate right here with this slider, but it's not fixing my stretching effect. So I probably should use another font. So let's see this one. Okay, this one could work, but there you go. So you just have to play around with your X coordinate slider right here. The stretch effect distance. Okay, so this one is useful if you want to have a longer stretch. So this is cool. I like a long stretch. Let's go for a long stretch. Then you have your stretch effect rotation. So let's play around with that. Okay, so it rotates the effect. So this is not exactly what I need. I prefer the letter stretching like so. And then the duration. So it will stretch faster or slower. So that's faster when you reduce the duration in terms of second, or the longest is 5 sec, stretches very slowly. I prefer the default 2, maybe even 1.5 could be good. Okay, so once you have everything, okay, let's change the color. Let's add a different color. So I can see here, I don't have access to my brand kit, which is a pity. You still have the ability to type in your hex code. Don't know the exact hex code of my pink color right here. So I could simply take a guess and go for like this brightest pink right here. Once you're happy with this, you can add this to your design, and then it's going to export the animation. You see it generating your text. Please wait for the text to be generated. So I'm not going to speed up the videos because I want to show you the real speed at which these animation will be actually generated. I'm going to move it here. It's not done yet. You see a little like a wheel turning right here because it's still processing. But in the meantime, I can work on something else. Okay, see, Motion Type has successfully uploaded the media to your library. So I guess I can find this media right here in my uploads under videos. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so you see, this is the final result. Looks pretty good. Can delete this. All right, so this is the final animation I got. All right, so you see this, but I notice that when it stretches, it actually gets out of the frame. You see, the 1:1 canvas is not large enough so that my entire animation could be seen here. So that is a problem. So I could probably fix this by reducing the stretch effect distance right here. Let me see. Okay, yes, it does fix the problem, but then it's not as impressive as the first kind of animation. So another way would be to simply extend the canvas, right? So canvas size, I could stretch the width of the Canva like so, and then add a bit more stretching effect, but it's still quite big. So maybe I just use the first part of my name, and then this would solve the problem. But you need to be aware of this, that this will work with shorter words that you use here. So because now it's good to go, I could probably stretch this even longer like so. Okay, so this is how it works. This is the first use case. Okay, so simply creating cool little animated text that you can use in different ways. I could use this for a social media post. I could use this on a slide for a tutorial. I want to show you a few other different graphics that I have created previously when I was trying the app. So this one, I didn't see it was getting out of the frame. For example, this one right here, the subscribe button. Okay, so this could be very very useful for a YouTuber. But yeah, this is a very straightforward little app. I like that I can access the settings simply by clicking back on it. This one right here, thanks for learning with us. That's the wobble effect. And you see I have kind of splitted the words between the different lines right here. And I obtain this kind of graphics. I could see this working on a social media post, animated Instagram post. That would be great. So obviously you need to create this in a square format and then export this as a video, for example. Now, next, let me tell you about a few different use cases that I would use this app for. The first one, animated bullet points. This is something we might not think about immediately, but this works with different things. Instead of text here, I simply used a little asterisk like so. You could use a dash, for example. You see my dash right here. I could use, I don't know, any kind of sign, like maybe this little hook right here. So these could be used as animated bullet points for your slides, for your presentation. So that's an interesting use case. And you know something else that works? Emojis. Emojis will work very well. Okay, so for example, this one right here, I just typed the heart-shaped emojis, but I could use something else. You see, I could use this guy right here. And now I have a different animation with the kind of breathe effect right here, the outline, change the color of the outlines for matching my emoji. So this is pretty cool. Something I noticed was working, the emojis. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you. This one is a pretty straightforward app. So before I give you my verdict, let's go over some more practical use cases. So we've seen the social media examples. Okay, to stand out in your social media feeds, it's always good to have some sort of animation that would catch people's attention out there. Engaging presentation with the animated bullet points. But you could also create like very short video intros and outros that could be for your short content, could be great. Event invites, okay, you could have like something cool like a little emoji or anything really that is supported by the app in terms of input, because this is supposed to be working with words, but if they support emojis, gives you a lot of additional options. Or educational content, like you've seen the subscribe button right here, could create something like this, call to action, so stuff like that could be really useful for content creators. All right, so this is what I think of this app. What I like, well, it makes motion graphic simple, when motion graphic is actually something very difficult. I remember the days when we needed to do this in After Effects. It was difficult. Now, I agree that we now have many more options. In Canva, we have the stickers, we have a bunch of options. But hey, this one is highly customizable. With the stickers, you cannot customize your message. Here we can. It's free and it's simple to use. You can customize it to match your brand colors, and it will be saved to your uploads folder. Now, in terms of what I like less, well, obviously there are only 5 presets. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this app and see if they keep adding more presets, because these look good, but I would love to see 20, 30 different presets right here. But yeah, that's really the only negative thing I have to say about this app. And that's why I'm going motion type a 3.5 out of 5. This one is one to put on your watch list, and let's hope they add more animations. All right, let's move on to the third design app for today. This one is one that is dear to my heart because of my background working with nonprofits. This one is called Donate in Designs. All right, so let's find it first. It looks like so, the little heart icon right here. Let's see the app's details. This one is about creating fundraising in Canva. Okay, Donate in Designs allow you to embed fundraising into your Canva creations. So this is very cool. Let me show you how it works. Okay, so I'm going to click on the app, and right here you can find a cause, find a charity, find a nonprofit organization in 3 different locales. Okay, you have United States, United Kingdom, or Australia. Let's find one in the UK. I have one in mind. I used to work with them. It's called Oxfam. Okay, Oxfam, United Kingdom. It looks like so. So I can either do is search using the first field right here, or if I don't search, I can see all of the results right here in the United Kingdom popping up right here. So yeah, you just choose one. Me, because I had one in mind, I can go straight to it by start searching. So once you've found your cause, you can go through the different options right here. So you have the logo by default. Most of the organizations will have a logo here. Then you can choose a primary color. So this is going to be for the button. Okay, so kind of like here, the button by default, it gives you the same color as Canva's buttons, which is cool, but you could be more fancy and want to match the color of the logo right here. So in order to do this, I can click on the button. There's no color picker, but I can use my custom color picker right here from my browser. Okay, I'm gonna do this, pick that color, go copy the color, there you go. This is just the simple color picker from my Google browser. Okay, there you go. I copied the hex code. Okay, nothing fancy here. I would have loved an integrated color picker, please. So I have the color, so this is cool. It matches the logo. Now I can set a goal if I want to. I don't have to set a fundraising goal. It's optional, but I can. And also I can choose the currency. So by default, because it's a UK charity, it set the currency to the pound, the British pound, okay? So pound sterling. I can change that if I want it into euros, into USD, or into AUD, Australian dollars. Me, I'm gonna go for euros. That's the currency we use here. And I'm gonna set a goal. Okay, let's say I want to raise 1,000 euros for Oxfam in the UK. I can tick the option to show the recent donations as well. I think this is a great incentive for people. And then once this is all good, two more options. I can go for a button or for a QR code. I'm gonna go for the button. I think it looks more engaging. I'm gonna show you the QR code after that. But that's it, really. You add this to your design. It's going to create an embedded button that looks like so. And in my opinion, it looks pretty good. So this one, I'm gonna center right here. Now, obviously, you can embed this on any Canva design. So now let me show you how it looks once you go into the full screen mode, when you share this design with someone. So this is how it will look. Okay, so Oxfam GB, Great Britain, €0 raised out of 1,000, the logo, and my donate button, which is actually clickable. You see, I can hover over it, the little cursor will change. So if I click, I will be redirected to this website right here. The website is called Donate, powered by person.com. Okay, so this is the gateway that kind of like powers this app in Canva. So from here, I can choose between a one-time payment, a monthly payment, and I can choose the euro amount. Okay, if I go for 50, then it changes here. Click on next. I need to fill out this form and actually proceed to the payment. And then the next time someone will click on that button, I should see, because I ticked it, the history. So this is how it works. Very simple, very straightforward. You create an embedded button, an embedded graphic that could help any organization of your choice, or even better, if you work at Oxfam, I would definitely use this all the time in my communications, in my newsletters, in my e-magazines, in my presentations. It works on Canva websites as well. So if you have a Canva-powered newsletter that you circulate around your organization, a lot of organizations do that. They would create their newsletter in Canva, export as a presentation or a website, and just share the link with their employees or with their outside supporters even. All right, let's create something different. Let's create another button. Let's change country. Let's go to Australia, and let's see if they have anything for supporting cancer. Cure Cancer Australia. Let's go for this one right here. Changing the button color. I'm not going to play with this. I'm just going to change to AUD. I'm not going to set a goal, and I'm not going to tick this. All right, and this time I'm going to select the QR code option right here and add this to my design so that you can see the difference. This one right here is going to create something quite different. Okay, let me delete the Oxfam one and center this one, go full screen. Now this time, this one is not clickable. Okay, I cannot click anything, but I just want to show you that I can scan this QR code with my phone right here, and I should be redirected to the same form. So yeah, there you go. You see, this is exactly the same user interface. Everything will go through the same gateway, okay? So I think this is a genius idea. So now let me quickly go over some practical use cases. The first one, obviously, is for your fundraising event promotions, okay? So if you have a website promoting your fundraising, you could have that button embedded on your website. Could be the website banner, could be the homepage, could be anywhere really. Social media campaigns. So if you are creating embedded social media campaigns, you could have that button anywhere leading, like you could have links that go directly to that website that you created in Canva with that button right there. And your social media campaign would just drive traffic straight to that website. Email newsletters, we talked about that. Website banners, thank you cards, okay? So people came to your event, you send them a quick thank you card that they can open in Canva with a view-only link, for example, and there will still be like more subtle, like they already came to your event, probably already have given to the fundraising, but you can remind them if they wish, they can give more. So that would be another way. Birthday invites. So some people already have the option, for example, on Facebook, you can ask people to, instead of giving you a birthday present, to make a donation to a non-profit organization. So that could be used in that way as well. All right, so what did I like about this? It's a quick way to donate, to incentivize people to donate. You can embed it in any Canva design. I love that. You have a large choice of charities to choose from across like 3 different countries. I would love to see some European organizations there as well. And it's very practical for NGOs, for their campaigns. I think this is a powerful tool, a quick way to integrate that technology, especially for smaller nonprofits that might not have a system, a gateway in place in order to collect that money. So there are probably some rules, probably a little fee for the website that will be collecting that money. I'm not aware of all of this. So that's what I would put in my dislike column right here, that I don't have much information about how me as a charity, I can register for this. I didn't really look hard for this information, but it's not obvious straight from here from Canva. So how hard it is for a charity, how difficult it is for a charity to register and be showcased in that list of causes that can be donated to in Canva. So there you go. Donate in designs, fundraising with Canva. Great idea. I love this idea. That's why I'm giving it a 4-star out of 5. Now, guys, remember I told you I would keep the best for the end. We went crescendo so far. This one is by far the best one I have come across for this month. I don't know if it was released this month. There are just so many apps that I kind of lost track, but this is the first time I come across this one. All right, so this one is called FontStudio. This is the logo. Let's have some fun with it. This one is I would say a more advanced suite of font editing and font creation. So let's just use one of the presets right here. I'm gonna go with this one right here, okay? And you see I already have my custom brand name right here, Team RONNY. So I'm gonna try to describe this user experience right here. On top you have your preview. Next you have your text box. You can change anything you like here. You have your font. I'm not gonna mess with the font right now because this one is pretty nice. You have your first slider right here. So you can add space between your letters, which is great. You can have line space. Here I only have 1 line, so this doesn't change anything. You can go regular or italic. So there, I'm gonna leave it on regular. That's the first option. That's just one thing you can customize. The letter fill, okay, so that's what's inside the letters. And again, you can choose here different colors. You can go document color. So here, one thing that I really like is that you can access your brand kit. So this actually answers one of my fundamental questions with apps. Can they actually access our brand kits? And the answer is yes, because this one can, right? So why are all these other apps not tapping into that, right? So great. I'm gonna go for white, okay, for the fill color. Also, I want to show you that you can actually use an image for filling these letters. So you can choose a file or use a selected image. This is cool. Let's go for an image. So I'm gonna go and find here in my elements. Let's just go for a gradient yellow. Let's see if I can find some nice gradient yellow colors right here. Photos. Let's go for this one. Let's come back to the app FontStudio. There you go. Use selected image. There you go. You see, immediately inserted into my letter filling. This is great. I'm going to reduce this here. Don't need this to be that big. So that's the letter fill. Okay, image or plain color. Special effects. You can add more effects. So letter tilt. That's interesting. You can rotate the letters. I'm going to leave that to 0. And then the second slider right here is letter separation. Okay, so another cool, interesting effect right here. I'm going to reset everything for the special effects. And then we have our layers. Okay, that is the last section right here. It says I can drag to reorder my layers. I'm not going to mess with that at the moment, but these are basically all the different things you see here. Could be the outlines, could be the shadows or the projections. So you can customize each of these layers with a color and also with more options. So shadow length, for example. Let me scroll back up to show you, for example, shadow length. So we are messing with the black, the first one, the black shadow of Team RONNY. So I can add some distance between the word and the actual shadow. Okay, the blur, the angle, see how I'm changing the angle, and the opacity could be 0 to 1, 0 being transparent, 1 being plain, more solid. Okay, and you can delete the layer from here. So this kind of control you will be given for every single layer. And then depending on what the layer is, if it's a shadow, you'll have more options. If it's an outline, well, you have less options. You have the thickness of this outline. So you see that's the green one. So now this is, in my opinion, the most complete FontStudio. And I like the name. FontStudio is really what this is. It's a studio. It's a creative studio for you to create like custom typography. So let's create one from scratch. I'm going to take another template right here. So Team RONNY, I'm just going to set another font. Let's go for Barlow. This is good. Let's first change the fill. Okay, I'm going to go with white color. Simple. All right, let's add a little bit less space between my letters. So letter spacing, I'm going to reduce it slightly. I want the letters to almost touch each other. -80 would be great. And now I can start adding some of my layers. Okay, so I want to do this in a specific way. I want to use a brand kit that I have. Good. Now I can come back to my design right here because I want to start adding some layers, some outline layers, for example. The first one, I want to stay on brand. So I'm not going to go for full black, but this darker purple right here. So I'm going to click on the button for the color, click on the color, and then from here, I believe I can use the color picker because I can create a new color. Now it's super easy. I can create that color. There you go. And now my outline, this first outline has that non-black color that looks like a black. Okay, cool. I'm going to reduce the thickness of that first outline. Okay, I'm going to go for 50 and then I'm good to go for adding a second layer. Maybe I add a shadow. Now, this is what it looks like so far. I could add a last layer, which could be a projection. That's actually quite long. But hey, let's have fun with this. Let's add this to the design. All right, so it looks like so. You can come back to the app. That's what I like about this studio is that you don't lose everything you just created. It remains here. So I guess I need to add less spacing between my letters. Okay, so I need to see the preview. Okay, yeah, I see what's going on here. Okay, let's add this to the design now. And you see different variations of that same logo. Okay, let me skip ahead and show you some other results I obtained by playing around with this app. Okay, you see this one right here, where the fill color matches the last layer. The last layer is also blurred. So you can have fun with this. I admit these are not the best logos ever, but I think this is great for creating, I would say, more elaborated typography designs. And the level of control given to me by the app is unmatched so far by any other font app I have worked with in Canva. Now, let me quickly sum up what I liked about this advanced text effects. Okay, it lets me add as many layers as I need to on my design, and it gives me granular control. I can really go deep and control everything. I can access my brand colors and the color picker, which are, for an app like this one, a deal breaker because I would lose so much time just copying and grabbing the hex codes with my little browser color picker. No, here everything is integrated, everything is native to the app. So it's great. And I also love the feature that lets me fill my letters with an image. It works really well. And it allows me to select an image on my page instead of uploading the image. So really, really like that. Now, there are also a few things I like less about this app. The first one is that there is no way for you to get back to the settings of a specific design you have created. Okay, so here, what I'm seeing here is the last one I worked on. But if I work on another one, for example, if I want to come back to this previous one, there's no way for me to load that back into the studio right here and continue editing it. So I lose the settings of the designs I have created. If I click on the three little dots here, there's no way I can edit this back into this app right here. So that's a bummer. And also, for example, here you've seen me kind of like work quite slowly, setting every single color for every one of these layers right here. I would love to be able to find this color palette right here and kind of like drop that right here, boom, and it will create a layer with all of these different colors. Now, maybe that's me being too idealistic about what Canva can do, but this would be an amazing feature to have. Now, let's be real. This is a great app. I highly recommend you give it a try. And I'm giving this app a 4 out of 5 rating. I could have pushed it to 4.5. I don't know. Does this deserve a 4.5 out of 5? Well, let me know in the comment section below. And this is where I'm going to leave it for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video until the end. I'm going to leave you with the rest of the series. Remember, this was episode 14 of Hot New Canva Apps. I have more episodes just like this one for you to discover the Canva apps in this playlist right here.